I really hope that if somebody didn't have to go to the restroom, they really just realized how
Now
badly.
they do.
How badly.
Spoiler alert, it was me.
My mic was muted. What are you talking about?
Good thing I've got this little tube underneath my desk right here.
Silhouettes.
This is
Get a little
Black
tube.
Tower ASMR moment. Yeah, get the. Oh yes, welcome to Black Tower ASMR. Oh shit, monkey's going for the brew. Get out of here, monkey. That's human brew, not monkey brew. Silly monkey, can't even tell the difference.
Not even brew, so neither can you, apparently. All right.
Aren't you funny too?
Fuck you.
Woo.
Ah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Tower Podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. You may have guessed, we're going to be covering the last part of a topic that we've talked about before by the pirate theme. Two of our hosts here are the semi-pirate theme. I don't have anything piratey except for this bootay that you're not allowed to plunder. Don't plunder my bootay. Though I can drink and be merry, though it's not going to be pirate themed. But maybe some of the oldest people on the waters have some Odin's Skull mead. So
What are you trying to say exactly?
that didn't even pop.
It's kind of fucking rude. Call people old and shit. You don't even know them.
It's Odin's Skull, not old man's skull.
Oh, sorry.
That, you know what? That
I
sounded
don't.
like a whole lot of the pirate hat fit, and you just assumed. Could be some of that hard hearing from your old age.
Could be. I'm going to go see an audiologist on Thursday to get that. I feel like they're going to put an ice pick in my ear, and that'll solve most of my problems. Dark Humor, Black Tower Podcast. I'm Josh.
It'll solve more
Let's
problems
roll
if they
on
put it
the
right
hill.
here. They
Well,
put it
you
right
can-
here. No, you just
There,
do it right here in about 5 centimeters.
But
Swish it side to side.
My eyes don't hurt. My ears do.
No, it goes above the eye, past it.
I know.
Yeah.
But how's that help my ears?
No, you just won't worry about it. It's called a lobotomy. You won't care about anything after that. It was a lobotomy joke. Yeah, yeah. A horrendous practice, but if you're a fan of The Boys, season 4, spoiler.
Oh, wow. Thanks,
Anyway.
man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Really big spoiler there that lobotomy may or may not be a part of season 4. Oh, shocker. I'm sure that's going to be the thing that abhors you for that shocks you about The Boys.
The penis explosion was pretty gnarly, not going to lie.
Which one?
Shh.
Ba-dum.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Andrew, your
I'm
Bijan
hail. I'm a hail the lightnings. I'm a hail the hell out of the lightnings.
I watch.
I glove. I don't know.
Look, you got to say your name and your title. That's what we do here. It's that segment. Yeah,
Something about
you're
like
the
an
red
intro
one,
or
Hail.
something like that.
All right. Excuse me. I'm Reese.
Oh, I was talking to Andrew.
Well,
I
I'm taking
I said
over.
it, but you talked over me.
Sorry. Go ahead, Reese. Sorry.
You're not sorry.
A little
That's
bit.
okay. All right.
I am.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Oh, right. I'm Reese. I'm a hand. Wait, let me start over.
See how I wear this pirate hat? Very tainty, very demure.
Where's the rum gone? Fuck, I drink
Apparently,
it all.
Reese drank it.
I did. I don't feel bad either. But I'm your Athan Mahale, and welcome to. I don't know who's next. I don't know. I'm just taking over.
No, it's you. You're good. Keep it. Own it.
That was
Own
fantastic.
it. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Welcome to the Black Tower podcast.
And if you want more Black Tower podcast stuff and goodies, go to blacktowerpod.com. We know we've got updates to do. We've still got a chibi to get made and some other things to get made and incorporate it for our fantastic, lovely Reese here. It's in the works. We're working on it. So stay tuned for those changes. But go and check out everything over there. We've got Dragon Sworn on demand where you can watch our 5 most recent YouTube videos. as well as listen to our 5 most recent just pure audio podcasts. You know, if you're just clunking around on the internet and you don't have your favorite podcast app up and running or YouTube up and running, if you do, please make sure to give us a like if you enjoy what we do here. Subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't want to hit the notification bell, you just want to subscribe, but you still want to get those notifications, but you just don't like the YouTube ones, you can click the button that says Discord on our website, join our Discord, and we have a fancy notification channel there whenever
That's
we
true.
have new stuff go live. And sometimes other fantastic content creators post whenever they do fancy stuff in there, and they remember that we exist as well. So it's fun. That sounds like a dig, but it's not. It's meant to just be funny. So
It's true.
that's not beef. It's not beef. There's no beef.
Are you sure?
Except Angus. Only 100% pure Angus beef.
Only bird of
That's
beef.
delicious.
Uh,
Only. Fuck you. Anyway, we are not alone. We're not. Speaking of bird of beef, we're not alone today. Don't know how that ties in. Except bird of beef starts with a B. Technically an A, I guess, because it's Alberta beef. But you know, whatever.
But we said bird of
We
beef.
have a fantastic guest joining us today, returning in part two,
Yeah.
as we try to finish
Adieu.
off a conversation that we started
Adieu.
many weeks
Adieu.
ago.
I'll take
You
you
be
such
overdue.
fellow.
Welcome, our fantastic, lovely, kind, and courteous, our gaming friend, just tearing up the Overwatch and Marvel Rivals scene over on Twitch.
I had to
That's
show
Beth
you.
Domon's dog.
I had to show you. That's Nala. She's
Aww.
so cute. I have a puppy cam set up for my Twitch streams, and I
Love it.
just had to show you guys the dog.
I'm not gonna lie. I riffed for as long as I did because I saw the camera change, but it's such a small preview window that I didn't know if it had like messed up and froze or not. And I was like, well, we'll find out.
Wow, you mean you didn't mean all that?
I mean, I did mean it all. Speaking of mean,
Yeah.
there's
I
more
thought you were
shoddy in
doing
his
the-
mean ass.
More titles than names segment, and I was impressed.
I was getting kind of impressed too, actually. Thank you. Hey,
All
Oh,
well
you
earned and deserved.
I do be here.
You do be.
I do
Fortune
be,
prick me.
do.
Oh, Beth,
Hi.
why
Hi.
don't you remind everybody all the fantastic stuff you do, where you can be found, all that
Oh
fun
my
stuff.
God. Okay, so hi, I'm Beth. I'm a huge
Hi,
fan of the Wheel of
Beth.
Hi. I'm a
Hi,
huge
Beth.
fan of the Wheel of Time. I'm my Wheel of Time related stuff is Delving the Chronicles podcast with Wallace Adai, Zool, and more shoddy. We have a podcast. We release episodes every other week. We are going to be doing some weekly podcast releases talking about the show episodes as they drop. So we'll be coming out with some more frequent stuff.
Sweet.
I also am involved in a 4th Age D&D campaign that's led by the marvelous Roof Mistress Leia, with some other Wheel of Time content creators, and that stuff's kind of sporadic because the biggest enemy of any D&D campaign is scheduling. That's really
Hard,
the boss
yes.
mob, right? That's like
Hemorrhoids.
really the boss mob.
True.
And Andrew is part of that. Is part of that collaboration. So we are supposed to have like a major recording session here later this month, which should be pretty interesting. We have some new members coming on board, which should be fun. And I am starting to do reaction videos again on my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube. And I just did a reaction to the first episode of Daredevil Born Again, which, I mean, if you're a fan of Daredevil, oh my God, yes, it's amazing.
I mean, it's okay, I guess.
It's okay, I guess. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio is only the best actor of his generation.
He's so good.
He's so freaking good. He's such a good Wilson Fisk.
I still can't
amazing.
Not see him as Private Pile. And
I know,
still
true.
Fist.
Wilson
Yeah.
Fisk, the Kingpin. The Kingpin Fisk. F-I-S-K.
That's my special.
Not
That's my
Frisk.
special after
Not
hours
Fist.
move.
Not Frisk with Fist. It's
Ooh.
Fisk. Okay.
You have to ask
I feel bad
Josh
saying
about
this, but Beth, I think you need to get your mind in the gutter.
It's already there. Girl,
Get your mind-
I have to ask
perpetually
Josh
there.
about my
Yeah,
special
that's
after
true,
hours
that's
move,
true.
the old Wilson fist.
The
Been
Wilson
passed
fist.
down through generations. Yeah.
Why do you think
And
I was so wasted the next day at Gathering Madness?
Passed down from my father and his father before him, the Wilson fist.
Jesus, Lord have mercy. But then my most prolific endeavor is Twitch streaming, and as Andrew said, I play a lot of Overwatch and Marvel Rivals on my Twitch channel. I now stream 5 days a week in the mornings from 5 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Central
It's a lot of
time.
AMs.
It is a lot of AMs, but I'm pushing for partner this year, for Twitch partner this year. So
All
my
right.
viewership is up, averaging between 40 and 50 viewers a stream
All right.
now. So things are getting pretty good. And I'm terrible at gaming, but I've made a very welcoming community, and I'm grateful for that. So
Can
It's
I?
all in the
may I
AM because
just-
they were like, are you going to do it? And Beth said, yes, I am.
yes, I
So
am.
it's in the AM.
I am.
I'll see myself out. All right.
You're almost witty, Andrew. Almost. Almost.
I will
We'll
say
see.
this,
I still
though.
got a full bottle of mead. We'll see what happens by
Okay.
the end of tonight.
I will say this, just a small note on your gaming. You need to be less humble, because I've played Overwatch with you, and no, hang it up. You are like echelons above me.
Oh, well, thank you.
So
Wow,
exactly.
you're better than two geeks with one mic. That's like two people like playing at once.
Well,
True.
thank you. Oh, I am pretty excited
Ooh.
because Assassin's Creed, the newest Assassin's Creed's coming out. It takes place in Japan, feudal Japan, on March 18th, and I am a Ubisoft creator, so I am going to be playing that on stream at some point. Hi, Wolf Brother. I will be playing that at some point on stream. I have kind of moved away from the single player RPG stream stuff because I'm going to be real. I get way more viewers when I play games like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, but I do love a good RPG, and this has got to be a banger for Ubisoft or they're dead. It's got to be a moneymaker. It's got to be good, or the company is not going to survive to make any other future content, really, because they're kind of like on their last legs right now. So yeah, so I'll be playing
Hopefully
that.
it
It's
goes
coming
good.
out March 18th. I'll probably be playing it the weekend later that week, and on the weekend I'll probably do like a Saturday stream or something. Stream it all.
I really
Hopefully it
love.
goes good. I know there was a lot of controversy about it leading up to it. But
Yeah,
I
but
think,
I'll still play it.
they changed the release date by a couple days. didn't
Yeah, they wanted to. I think maybe it's coming out March 21st now. Maybe I can't remember, but anyway, yeah. There's
'Cause originally
it's
like
been
it
delayed
would have
few
been a
times.
really it would have been a really bad anniversary that it would have come out on originally. I think.
Yeah, sometime in February it's supposed to come out, and it's been pushed back a few times. But
I think it was the March. I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I saw the news in passing, and then
Yeah.
moved on.
And then
Yeah.
you giggled at it.
I didn't really giggle at it because like
That's the one. That's what we did.
as bad as I am, like as low knowledgeable as I am about like Japanese history,
mhm.
I still really like Japanese history.
Oh.
So
It was
Fair.
it was a bad Japanese holiday.
yeah, like it was the anniversary of like some really bad attack in Japan. And it was like coming off of there were several other things about the Assassin's Creed game that had been
It's problematic. It's already
like,
been previewed
yeah.
by many people, and there are definitely going to be there's some stereotypical things in there people are saying, and
Yeah.
so I'm not going to stream the entire game on stream. I have not able to finish like the last couple of Assassin's Creed games that have come out. Actually, that's not
But
true. Valhalla I finished.
Ubisoft has been around so long; it would be sad to see another gaming giant
Company
kinda go
kind of
down,
fail
but-
because like BioWare is on its
Yeah.
last legs.
Yeah.
I personally really enjoyed playing Dragon Age: The Veilguard, but it flopped commercially. It was a flop. So BioWare's putting all of their eggs in Mass Effect 4 now at this point. So, which hopefully, because Mass Effect, if you guys are not single player RPG, if you are fans of single player RPG content and you have never played Mass Effect, where are you? Where have you been? Please go get it. March 20th.
March
Okay.
20th now.
Yeah, so I'll play it that weekend. But anyway, okay, so I'm done talking about video games. Let's talk about my favorite pirate smuggler in the Wheel
So
of Time.
before we get into that, before we go to finish off the Domon, let's
I don't
make
want to
sure.
finish him off.
I mean,
mean-
I would.
I mean, okay. Well,
That do
keep
be
talking.
feeling good.
I
by
do
Jean
be
Mahel. Let's make sure that you are all safe and protected from a voice that's familiar to all of us. It should be familiar to everybody else now. Our very own more shoddy.
Welcome to the Black Tower, a Wheel of Time podcast. Alright, let's check this one. This podcast will likely be spoiling books 1 through... Oh, what's this? An envelope addressed to me. No name, though. Let's see what's inside. Oh my. This podcast will likely spoil all the books in the series, and apparently being a Patreon will expose you to information that should be left unseen. Protect yourself by pulling that spoiler condom all the way on. And I need a drink. That's way more of Andrew than I have ever wanted to see. Why would you braid it down there?
Because I can. All I heard was
That was not something I needed to hear come out of Shoddy's mouth. I'm just saying, like,
No comment.
no comment.
Okay.
No comment.
But with everybody protected, Beth is on screen. We're all here. We are going to be doing part 2 of our conversation on Beth Domon. And I
You
do
mean
love
Bayle
how...
Domon.
Yep. There we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've already had a conversation on me. Let's have a conversation on Bayle Domon, on his gnarly, swarthy chest, on his chest,
It's on his chest.
swarthy, his swarthy chest.
It may
Want to
swarthy
take a guess
though
at
it
which
be.
person's name I've said more in the past, like at least 24 hours than the other?
Beth.
Yeah, yeah,
I have no idea.
yeah.
I'm simply the Beth.
Right.
That you can thank Delusions of Grendel for that, by the way.
Delusions of Grendel.
Oh,
2 years later.
Gave us a gift that day.
She did. She did.
So, last time you were on several weeks ago, I think we kind of got at least through the Tanchico part. I fully intended to go back and like at least catch up and be like, oh, this is where we finished. And then work got busy.
Yes,
And-
I
How
too
dare
also am going to say that I intended to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So Beth, since you obviously
we were
did,
completely
why don't you
prepared.
kick us off?
Oh, I totally rewatched. That was, no, but if we want to talk about Tanchico, so like The Dragon Reborn is the book, right? Bayle Domon escaped from Falm, made his way up the coast to Tanchico, has set himself up as a smuggler for all intents and purposes, but he is also a philanthropist because he uses some of his profits that he gets from his endeavors to help feed the poor and hungry. He has like soup kitchens set up throughout the city to help with the influx of refugees that have come to Tanchico. So he is kind of like the Wheel of Time's Han Solo. Right? He really kind of is. He's kind of like this reluctant hero who, has a good heart. He's got a heart of gold, even though he'll do whatever he has to do to get ahead, but he doesn't, he's not like, he's not Elon Musk. He likes to share some of his wealth with the common man.
Elon Musk's soup kitchen. It was mostly just rare earth metals and plastic.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get political on your apolitical show. I am very sorry. I apologize. I will take it back. Edit that part out. Just edit that part out.
I would say outside of politics, even it's a valid thing, right? Because you're not kidding. Like Bayle Domon spends a sizable amount of his fortune and time.
Philanthropy is important to him.
Straight up, just and the cynic in me says, yeah, so did like most mob bosses, because if you don't have the support of the people, you can't run business. You can't operate business. So on one hand, yeah, it's good. He's got a good heart. But he's also got a good mind. He's an excellent philanthropist. He knows that if I take care of the dockmaster, if I feed his family, he's going to let some things slide. And so there's a lot of, and then, the more renown you gain in the city, and this is what Bayle Domon is banking on, and he is great at it.
And he's almost like my dog is snoring so loud right now. He is almost like Robert Jordan's Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, except he might not be above pummeling somebody to death with his fists because he could do that very easily. But he definitely a Robin Hood, but Robin Hood, sure, Wolf Brother, sure. But yeah, no, he's got a good heart and he looks out for the average man, but he won't put up with like idiots, right? Remember, because Florin Gelb ended up being
Florin
in
Gelb,
Tanchico as well.
Fucking guy.
Gelb, get off my ship, Gelb. Yeah.
And that's when Tom was like, shit, we're so hosed.
We're in trouble now. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but we're not talking about Eye of the World anymore. We're in Tanchico. We're moving
That's
past
right. We're in Tanchico. Bayle Domon do be a good philanthropy enthusiast.
Yep.
And then
I mean, so he does a lot of the philanthropy, but like he doesn't want to be known for
correct. He likes to work in the shadows.
Wants to lay he wants to lay low. He doesn't want to be known for doing the good things. And one of his core reasons for doing it is to be in the know for what's happening coming up to and around the docks, especially after Falma. Knowing that he would benefit from having people around the docks that could give the heads up, that could potentially aid in protecting his vessel should any kind of like civil unrest happen or there be another attack or something like that. So it's not just philanthropy for the sake of philanthropy, but it's not all like self-serving, but it's
a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation, right? So
yeah, he's a survivor, but if he can help somebody else out at the same time, why not?
Damn it, Reese, I have a musical brain. He's a survivor. He's gonna give them all the money to get the info. Sorry, can't help it.
We surviving.
But he barely survives Tanchico because once again he encounters Nynaeve and Elaine.
I can just imagine the look on his face when they come walking down the gangplank. He's like, "Oh, hell no!"
Oh no! But he was actually very apologetic that he didn't stay in Falm. But and so, but not only are Nynaeve and Elaine in Tanchico, we also have Aegeanin is in Tanchico. She is hunting for Suldam and oh my God, Damane that might have. No, Wolf Brother, I happen to like your brain. I happen to like your brain, Wolf Brother. But anyway, so Aegeanin's there. She knows who he is because they were in Falm together. She was the person, if you remember, she apprehended his ship and took him to High Lord Turak. That's how she became part of the Low Blood, right? Wasn't that part of her
promotion? Yeah.
Yeah, part of her promotion to the Low Blood was because she was able to court favor from what happened in Falm. And she ends up becoming entwined with the whole affair of Nynaeve and Elaine trying to get into the palace in Tanchico. And Bayle Domon ends up getting pulled into that. She finds out that they can channel. She realizes that not all Aes Sedai are going to be like these evil, terrible people. And they end up fleeing Tanchico after the Panarch's palace kind of goes to ruin with Nynaeve and Moghedien's fight. And Nynaeve had given the domination bands to them to get rid of. And Bayle Domon says, we'll throw them in the deepest part of the ocean. So then we don't see Bayle Domon for a while. I can't remember what book he makes his next appearance, but after he makes his next appearance, we find out that his ship was apprehended by the Shan-Chan at some point after departing Tanchico. He's actually sold into slavery. He becomes a slave, and Aegeanin
This is when she gets raised.
That's when she gets raised.
This is what gets her raised to the blood.
Yes.
Because she becomes the captain of the green.
That's right. And so she ends up purchasing him because by this time they have fallen in love with each other. And he becomes her. What's wrong with saying that?
I said it's a secret love.
Oh, it's a secret love. I got you. So he ends up becoming her personal Dockle basically, right? And the Shan-Chan in turn get the domination ban. And we know what happens with that because Semirog has inserted herself in the Shan-Chan court, and all of that plays out.
Smart move, by the way.
Brutally smart. Probably
Good
the smartest move of any of the Forsaken, honestly.
What's this?
Demandred?
Demandred. That's how I remember it. He did pretty good too, going over to Shara.
Yeah.
I will say that.
But eliminating the entire royal family of the Shanshan.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Pretty brutal, man.
Pretty gangster.
Pretty gangster.
That
Pretty
is kind of her
gangster.
name.
But so
Let's
so
see,
we
where
next
is
see
the next time we see him?
they're in Abadar.
It is a Ibu Dare.
They're in Abudar, and the Shanshan have just invaded Abudar, and Matt is Tyland's consort, and the women had used the Bowl of the Winds to get away, or they used the Bowl of the Winds and they made the gateway, and they got away.
Yeah, that's when they created the first nuke.
The first nuke, correct. And then Matt is trying to he finds out that Teslin has been captured and Jolene is in hiding. And so he's trying to get the Aes Sedai out. And he's at the inn with, oh my God, what's her name? Oh my God. She stilled herself.
Satel.
Satella Anon, thank you.
Satella Anon.
So Satella Anon is the innkeeper, and she's hiding Jolene.
Jolene.
And he's in the inn, and Bayle Domon and Guinan arrive at Abudar, and they show up there looking for a room. And Matt had been in the kitchen kissing Jolene to hide her, and he said to Guinan, I recognize him. I know who that is. And that's because Matt and Rand and Tom had been on his ship in book 1. And so he remembered who Matt was, and like Severin at work. So he's fallen from the world. He's fallen from the world. In the world. Not from the world. In the world. He's a slave. But in name only.
Yeah.
He's a Sino. He's a Sino.
Well, he's kind of like self-appointed there as well, though, because he was in a position of he was Dakovale, right? And then Egyanin was like, and he's like, and it was cool, right? Because he was with the lady he loves, and who doesn't love to just dote on the person you love all day? Like, if I could do that as a job, that would be fantastic. I would do that all day, every day. Are you kidding me? It's like that old country song where it's like, if I can make $1 million out of loving you, I'll be a millionaire in a week or two. And I've
never heard that song before.
That's exactly how the song sounds.
If I could make $1
amazing
out of loving you. Because it doesn't sound that impressive. If it's like, if I could make $1 million out of loving you, I'd be a millionaire in a week or two. It's not really that strong.
Waggle those eyebrows some more.
This is not doing anything for my
Andrew.
love of country music. I gotta be honest.
No, so Bayle Domon's like, hell yeah, like things are good. Let's do the thing. Let's ride off into the sunset. Let's have a great time. Let's not worry about the world. Oh shit. What is this band of the Red Hand doing? And why do I recognize this scamp with the wide-brimmed black hat and a scarf?
Who's
and
come up in the world a little bit since the last time he saw him, right? A little bit.
Well,
I don't recognize him with that little bit of
yeah, the band isn't there. He's just got
that's a fair bit later. But yeah. It's after after Bayle introduces Matt to Egyanin in earnest is whenever she provides Matt with 3 Suldam and also helps the 2 Aes Sedai escape.
Exactly. Yep. And that's
but then they
Rhaena,
get caught in the
and
act
Bethamin.
by Tuon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tuon
like walks in on them trying to leave, and Matt's like, "Fuck it, you're coming too." And Tuon just kind of goes with them. And it's after then the Egyanin is like, "Do you know who the fuck that is?" And he's like, "Well, no, she just walked in on." It's like, "Well, that's the daughter of the 9 moons."
The daughter of the 9 moons is my wife. Yeah. The daughter of the 9 moons is my wife. The daughter of the 9 moons is my wife.
Yeah. My bloody wife.
And it's after all of that, like after basically Tuon firsthand watching Egyanin's treason against the Shanshan, that she changes her name. It's like, you will now
Lylwyn
be Lylwyn
Shipless.
Yeah.
You will never be, which like, and that guts Gannon. Like that's like, she doesn't want to be known as a Gannon anymore. She's willing to take her penance. But at the same time, I love, I know we're supposed to be talking about Bayle Domon, but I love Gannon as a character because she is the personification to show that you shouldn't define an entire nation of people by their stereotypes, because she is the epitome of, once you come in contact with your fear or your prejudice, you can learn to overcome that, because look at what she ends up doing. She ends up fucking becoming Egwene's warder and saving Egwene's life.
I love her story so much.
I do too. I think it's such a great story. And it's not even a story of redemption. It's just a story of growth and evolution. You know, she didn't have to redeem herself for anything.
And not even that, but in that process, she also helps Egwene overcome her prejudice
so much. Yeah.
Like that's pretty awesome.
Well, and that's one thing that's a theme, right, that we love about Robert Jordan and his writing style.
Absolutely.
No demographic is a monolith. Period. No demographic. Think of the most hated group right now. None of them are a monolith. They're not. You can't be in a society in which we have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people, and every single person in that is a unique grain of sand. It's real easy to look out and see a beach and not realize those are different grains of sand.
I mean, but is there a little girl on it, and is there going to be a big, huge tidal wave? Because
if the Shanchan are coming up, then they're going to be like, fuck that girl in particular.
I can't believe you're using grains of sand when they're spread.
Oh my god,
man, I'm pretty disappointed.
Did you just cite a D&D spell? Except you turned it into a little girl? Josh.
I would never.
Screw that. One guy in particular is a D&D spell.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, yeah.
And he just said they can just screw that one girl in particular.
Don't get mad at me, because that's what the Shanchan cast. Okay?
That is.
I mean, did they really, whenever they attacked like the whole beach?
To get really that one girl.
Nah. Screw that one guy in particular is like very, very targeted. Like, it's not an AoE.
It's randomly targeted. It's randomly targeted. That's the whole thing.
Against a specific person. A tsunami is more of like, to whom it may concern.
Right. It's like a letter that you receive if you're a federal government employee.
Hey.
I mean,
look, you can't talk about Bayle Domon without talking about Egyanin.
Right.
Because they meet so early on, and their meeting is so happenstance.
Is it
though? But
even
in that first meeting,
is it happenstance though?
The wheel weaves.
So happenstance, It makes me want to put sound effects with it.
Ooh. I've only got this one, I'm afraid.
That was it. That was the one I was thinking.
That's okay. Good, got it. Bayle Domon comes up from below decks. What be going on in my ship? And everybody's like, Bayle Domon! There it is.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's a change in the pattern horn right there.
That's it, right? That's the horn of Valir. Y'all didn't know I had it, did you? Y'all didn't know I had it, did you?
Oliver's like, bam, bam, bam.
But even then, she like punches him in the face, and he like seeing stars, licking blood from his lip, going, "What the hell just happened?" And then he stands up and he's like, "Damn, okay, girl, I see you, mommy."
Closer being like, I do be seeing
you, mommy. Me fortune pricked me. My mother.
Fortune pricked me last. I do be seeing you.
I mean, do you
me mother? Apologies, me mother.
I was just about to go somewhere, but I won't.
Do it.
Do it.
I can come up with a list of 5 things I do be doing in my day, and 4 of them do be you.
Not one of them be smuggling. I would never.
Do you think?
On occasion, I do.
I know.
But
do you think
0 stars? Do not recommend.
Do you think that Bayle Domon?
It's what this is for.
Is more the submissive in that relationship? Or do you
No.
think it's more of a
I think
I
it's
think
a switch
they're switches.
dynamic.
they're switch
they're
dynamic,
switches.
right?
They're
Like
both
both. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both
Like
switches.
they can both interchange. Be like, oh, I'm feeling like okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Egyanin comes home from work one day and she's like, I'm so tired of making decisions for stupid people. Or no, I'm sorry. I am so tired of making decisions for stupid people. And then Bayle Domon's like, you do be a naughty girl. Go to me bedchambers and wait for me to decide what your toe be today. And she's like, Bayle, I have no desires to make decisions.
That's not your choice.
That
Do
will
not be
be
your choice.
I do be obeying one woman, and it do no be you.
That's it. That's the dynamic right there. And
I
then
love it.
there's days I do be dealing with that pop of a man, Florin
By
Gell.
day, I do be important smuggler, but at night, I do be bad man.
At night I be smuggling grapes. What?
I do be a bad boy. Set me right, mother.
By night, I do be a bad de corvée.
Fortune prick me and something else. Oh my god, okay.
I do love Bayle Domon. I do love
I
him.
also love Bayle Domon.
I mean, I just love him. I love him.
He's good. So the girls leave. He meets Matt. It's him, Egyanin, Matt, and a couple of
All three of the
Suldam.
Suldam. It's Bethaman, Rana, and Sita.
That's correct.
Yep.
Did we just jump back to Abu Dar?
No, we're there with Val and Luca's show now.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Val
'cause
and
they-
Luca's
that's how they
grand
get out,
traveling
right?
show and magnificent display of marvels and wonders.
That's
Yes,
the one.
Fucking
Exactly.
longest title ever.
Exactly.
Matt wrapped Tuon up in a carpet. They do the thing. They go with Val and Luca.
Matt wanted her
Tuon's
carpet.
like-
Sorry.
and then
I do wish to be wrapped up in your carpet.
and then Tuon like names Egyanin Lilwyn shipless and removes all of her belongings. And I personally think one of the reasons she's so upset about this is because she loses her Daco Vale. She loses Bayle as her own property. And as you were going earlier, Beth, with the whole, she's an outlier. She's someone who learns. She
Mhm.
overcomes her ignorance and bias, and she goes, wow, I can have good things. I don't need the Empress, may she live forever. I don't need the crystal throne. I don't need a name. What I need is this heart in my chest, this blood in
Yeah.
my veins,
Yeah.
and I can live the happy life that I want to live.
Well, and not only that, but
it's a
her
good thing.
realization of these grand, gross stereotypes that the Shan-Chan have placed about everybody in Randland. Again, it has traveled a lot of this world, this, new territory, and she's seen for her own, through her own eyes, for her own self, to see that these generalizations and stereotypes are not true, and that's a conflict. And I think that that leads like to the bigger question of, and to the our detriment, since Robert Jordan passed away, of not knowing what the long-term ramifications would be of, like, again, it is one person in the Shan-Chan Empire. When you have that multiplied by millions of people of this knowledge becoming preeminent, what is that going to do to an entire culture, to an entire society, right?
Exactly.
But it's an interesting case study to see how one person, and it's really, and how you get Tuon's point of view with it is that, well, just because I can do it doesn't mean every man can murder. What did Tuan say when Matt
Yeah,
said to her that
he
Sultan
makes a
can
really,
channel?
really shitty comparison about just because you can murder doesn't mean
Doesn't
you're
mean
a
you're
murderer.
Exactly.
I can learn to channel. It doesn't make me a channeler. And it's
Exactly.
so garbage.
It really is. But
And
Like,
it's
so,
actually
so
a
why do you
brilliant
color
writing
everybody
moment.
that can?
It's actually, I think it's a really brilliant writing moment for Robert Jordan, though, because how many times do people say, oh, this and this and this and this? And then you go, well, what about this? Well, that's different.
Mhm.
How?
Yeah.
Well, the intent is different. Okay. Look, intent matters, sure, but ultimately the actions that are taking place are still
Yeah.
taking place. Like,
It's
you
amazing
still have
what people
to
will explain away if they're given the option.
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, and let's not also forget Seleucia.
Oh, yeah.
Seleucia. So how do you say her name?
Seleucia.
Seleucia.
Yeah.
I've always said Seleucia.
Seleucia. She's Tuan's maid / voice / bodyguard /
Or truth speaker
really
or whatever.
badass woman. I
Mhm.
respect her.
Mhm.
I respect her. She
Mhm.
speaks her mind, and I like that. Yeah.
Do you think that Sean Chan ASMR, they don't do this? They do this. They're like,
Well, no, they just do this. It's just really far away.
Oh my god, that drives me nuts.
welcome to the Sean Chan Blood
You know-
ASMR.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
I'm done. I'm done.
I hate it so much.
I will say this, with going back to Bayle Domon, he watches Aegeon get completely stripped of rank and position and privilege and yada yada yada, and he just stands by her. He doesn't come in and say, oh babe, you should do this, you should do this, you should yell at her, you should. He doesn't do any of that. He just, granted, a lot of their relationship is off page, so I'm making an assumption here, but
Sure.
their relationship goes pretty well and goes pretty strongly, so I'm assuming that this is what he did. And he didn't waste a lot of time by telling her what she should and shouldn't do and kicking her while she's down. He just stood by her, and
Right.
he supported her. He held her when she cried. He told her, it's going to be good. We're going to figure this out. We're going to move on, and we're going to be happy.
Yeah.
And
I like that 'cause
which
he
is-
doesn't necessarily understand her society and how everything works and how it affects her. And he's like, it makes absolutely no sense to me, but it really affects you. And I can tell this is important. So I'm going to be here for you through it, whatever
Yep.
you need.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah.
it's pretty incredible too, because like he doesn't understand the intricacies of it, but he understands that she's lost everything,
Mm-hmm.
which he has as well, most recently because of her.
Touche.
So, but he still sits there and is like, he looks past it, and he's able to get past it because he cares about her and look after her, and he can sympathize with the point of I get it, to the point of losing everything that you thought was important to you and having to find new things to focus on and find importance and find new ways to go forward in life, not
Yeah.
knowing what that looks like for you. You were kind of that for me whenever I needed it. I'm going to try to be that for you now that you need it in whatever capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
there's a little bit of like poetic beauty in it. I
ahead,
guarantee you, though, there's definitely a bit in the very back of Bayle Domon's mind going like, definitely like Loki watching Thor get his ass beat by Hulk, being like, that's how it feels. Like, I'm not going to tell you like you kind of deserve it, but also like there's a little bit of Bayle, I guarantee, that's like, I hate that you're hurting, but there's also a little bit of me that is like, it fucking sucks, doesn't it?
Now you know what it feels like, don't ya?
Well, and that's kind of where I was going with the not kicking her while she was down, right? Because
Yeah.
it's real easy. It's real easy to look at someone and be like, yeah, that's how it tastes. And you know what? A couple of years from now, when they've healed and they're healthy and happy, you can throw that out at a joke at parties when you're ribbing each other, when you're roasting each other, and you have that healthy, happy, fun relationship.
Hey,
In
do
the
you
meantime,
remember that time when?
in the meantime, just slip that in your back pocket and hang on to that.
I got you, babe. That's what they sing. That's their anthem. They're Sonny and Cher.
So they're traveling with the circus. They both get jobs. They're both doing their thing.
Mhm.
What happens next?
So they end up leaving
blanking
Val
on
and Luca. They end up departing ways. Okay, I'm having a
Well,
little bit of
they have a dark friends make their way, are either already a part of the circus or they run into them at Maderin.
Right.
And after that, Matt and the rest of his group, including Bayle and
Oh my
Eggion,
God.
leave
Is
the
that
circus.
when they go to Hinderstap? Isn't this when they go to
I don't
Hinderstap?
think Bayle was with them when they
I
went
don't
to
think
Hinderstone.
Bayle was with them.
Bayle wasn't with them when they were in Hinderstap because that was
No.
after they left, right? Okay.
Yeah, because after the incident
Oh,
in
Rena
Maderin
tries
is
to
whenever they
escape.
go.
Right? Rena tries to escape.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
And then they chase her down. And Matt
Mhm.
ends up shooting Rena in the back with a crossbow because she's about to. They find out that the Shanchan are searching for Chuan, realizing that they're going to kill her because they're entrenched with dark friends. And so Rena almost makes it. They chase her down. Matt shoots her. Chuan says, "Do not apologize. She was a traitor to the Empire. You know,
Yeah.
she knew I was here and she was going to out me. So don't feel bad for killing a traitor to the Empire. Like that's how dedicated Chuan is. Like, so
I mean, they've also had like it's a like just another fact of life for anybody in the blood to go about like from their day of birth being surrounded by assassins
that's true too. Yes.
and being hunted down.
Could you imagine?
So-
I couldn't.
It's a different life.
I'm very
It's like-
happy living my mundane, boring life. Thank
I don't
you.
know if you guys know this
Yeah.
about me, but I've actually been hunted by assassins my whole life.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're
it's-
brave. Putting
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
What's behind you?
Those
Wild.
assassins. suck.
Andrew,
I just
don't
wanna
make any
say.
sudden noises or movements, but there are 13 Aiel in that room with you right now.
Yeah. Well, they've all been paid off with a double fifth. So.
Others will let you have the 5th. I give you the 10th.
yeah. I give you a better deal. We'll go to my neighbor's house. We'll take the 10th, and then we'll be good. Because a 10th is more than a 5th, and that's why the quarter pounder is still a thing instead of the what is it, the third pounder or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so then they're riding through Altara, and that's where they meet up with the band of the Red Hand, and now they've got the now even larger band of the Red Hand, because I think one of Matt's first things, he looks at the entire force and is like, I didn't say to fucking recruit, but okay. Like,
And
normally,
Telmanis
can't
is
do
like, I
anything about
couldn't
it.
beat these guys off with a stick. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Which was kind of a lie.
And I think is it already at this point that like just Aludra's found herself with the band of the Red Hand,
Oh yes.
or it's shortly thereafter? Because Domon takes over as like the bouncer for Aludra, basically being like,
Yes.
no one touches the dragon.
That's what she's looking for, a bell founder. They go to Andor.
That's
That's right.
right.
Because Matt is given the letters from Varen,
From Baron.
and then he is a butthead and refuses to open the letter because he doesn't want to be entangled in any Aes Sedai plot. And unfortunately,
It's like the one letter he should have opened.
The one time he shouldn't
The
have been
one
so freaking
time.
stubborn. The one time he should have let his curiosity get the better of him.
and then but that's the thing, is that Matt figures out why Aludra needs a bell founder.
Yep.
And then once that plan is set in motion, they're like, hey, Bayle, can you make sure nothing fucky happens?
Yeah.
On my honor, I do be protecting Aludra and dragons.
And then they end up departing ways when they end. Don't
Wait,
they end
she
up?
was with the circus. That's right. She left.
Yeah,
the
she was with
circus
the. She was with them.
That's
Yeah,
right.
she was, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
because she was making fireworks, and she
For
was for Val and
Hugh
Luca.
Jackman.
But wait, wasn't her
Right.
desire to find the Bellfinder and the birth of the idea of the dragon's a combination of like her and Matt's ideas?
No, because
So-
she told Matt that she would tell him what what she was doing if he was able to find a bell founder to
Oh, okay.
And
However,
tell her
she
why.
did kind of guess
He kind of did
his
guess,
ideas,
yeah.
which
We-
is why
we do
she was
have an
like,
illusion.
Oh,
okay,
okay, yeah.
if you
On
can
the
figure out
screen.
what I'm doing, I'll tell you.
Oh,
'Cause
that's right. He
says, "You know what?"
figures it out.
Yeah,
and
he
she
says,
starts
if you
revealing
put
the
these
Illuminator
long
secret.
ways, they could go pretty far. And
Right,
she's like, oh, you
right.
think so, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what would I
Weird.
need
He
some
figures it
bell
out.
I never
founders
thought of that.
He figures it out, and as a reward, she starts divulging the secrets of the Illuminators.
Illuminati.
And then when they split off, Bayle Domon and Aegeanin end up going north with the Aes Sedai, if I'm correct. Don't they end up going with Amathera
Yeah.
and Julian Sandar? They end up going and
Because they're going to
Teslan.
Tarvalon.
They're going up to Tarvalon to find Nynaeve, I think, at the time. They don't know.
I think they just run into Nine.
No, they
Nynaeve.
go
I don't
looking for
remember.
Nynaeve at the Aes Sedai camp. They specifically go looking for her because when they're brought to her after the reunification of the tower,
Mhm.
they're brought to her because they're
She has to,
Aegeanin's
like,
pretending to be an Illianer and her accent is absolutely horrible, and the warder like understands like how terrible it is and takes them, and then she sees Bayle and Aegeanin, and she's like, you, because by that time Rand has, Semirog
dealt
did
with
the
it.
Semirog thing, and you were supposed to get rid of those, and she pledges herself to
Oh, yeah.
Egwene, like just before the last battle, even before she becomes a warder, she pledges herself to Egwene, and she's like constantly, because she failed Nynaeve, she feels like she owes Nynaeve a debt for everything that has happened, and she's lost everything. So the only place she has left to turn to is to the Aes Sedai, because really the Aes Sedai are the only ones that have not wronged her. When you think about it, like the Shantan have turned their backs on her. It's her and Bayle Domon against the world at this point. So she's going to put her cards, and Bayle Domon's going to go wherever she goes.
Which is why I always think it's so funny. Like, it's such a Robert Jordan thing to like put these two together, even if it just happened with when Brandon's writing. It's to like put these two that like her entire life she's thought Aes Sedai were animals, and Egwene was caged as one of them. Throw them together, make them deal with one another.
I love it.
It's so peak, like having to get over your.
Well, doesn't she try to pledge to just the White Tower, like pledge herself to Culvet to the White Tower overall? And they're all just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's just like being like, who cares? Because then she
and Egwene is like,
Domon is with her whenever.
All of it. Bayle Domon is just at this point supporting Aegeanin and whatever Aegeanin wants to do.
But he's with her whenever she goes to find Egwene, and she gives the whole speech of, I'm going to serve you.
Yeah.
And Egwene is just like, I don't have any time to deal with you.
Right.
You're
She's like, I don't trust you. You're Shantan. Exactly. And then when Gawain dies, dumb fuck.
Thank God.
We were actually.
Here's another example, though.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, here's another example of Bayle Domon being like a pretty good dude, because Lyle Wynn Shipless, aka Aegeanin, recognizes the blood knives.
Yes.
Rings,
oh my God, yes.
Like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
And Gawain's like, okay, if one ring go brr, 5 knife rings is better. And Bayle Domon goes, hey bro, she knows what she's talking about. Maybe don't.
He tried to be the voice of reason to the Prince of Andor.
He doesn't even say, like, Domon doesn't even say, like, hey, listen to my wife. He's like, hey, Gawain, listen to your fucking wife. For once. Listen to somebody else for once. And Gawain's like, I've never been wrong about anything in my entire life. When I fought and killed people and killed younglings on behalf of Elida, I wasn't wrong. It was just a bad time.
I was born to know what I was talking about, okay?
I mean,
this is exactly it. This is Gawain's ultimate purpose. He was created as a character purely for this moment.
He's the Krillin of the Wheel of Time universe.
Okay,
He was born to convert oxygen to carbon dioxide and then die.
I just have to say one thing in defense of Gawain.
Oh, here we go.
That's high
Way
treason
back
here at
in 1994, when I was a young whippersnapper and in the army, and I had a book boyfriend,
No.
Gowan was my book boyfriend in 1994.
No. Okay.
Asshat Gowan. Okay.
I was about to say,
How?
I'll give you
So
credit here.
this was what just Courtyards of Camelin Gowan, right?
Yeah.
When he seemed like he was going to be a nice
Yeah,
stand-up
he
guy.
was really great.
Like when
Like,
no,
oh, like he seems pretty
also-
nice.
Also, when he was making out with Egwene Gowan,
Spicy
making
time.
out with Egwene Gowan.
Spicy
I mean,
Even some of his early stuff is a little forgivable because it's like, well, he didn't know everything.
He just
didn't
couldn't
have the
get
full
out
thing. He
of
was trying
his.
to do the right thing.
I mean, I honestly feel like he was one of those characters, kind of like Padden Fane. When Robert Jordan passed away, they just didn't really know what to do with him. And they just like he had an ultimate demise that was planned, but he had some redeeming qualities because remember, Egwene was super arrogant too. She was super prideful. There aren't spies
What?
here after the Shan invaded and they stole Elida away. Well, we're safe now, even though there were Aes Sedai that were being murdered, right? Oh, well,
There are no
Masana.
murders in the new White Tower.
Exactly. It's
There
got to
are
be
no murders
Masana.
in
It's got to
Boston,
be the
say.
Black Aja, even though they're being murdered with knives. They're not being murdered with the power, right? So Gowan is like, no, there's still
It's another
something
trick of the
here.
Black Aja.
Right. But he's like, there's still something here. There's still something nefarious going on. And no one would listen to him, including Egwene, partially because he burned those bridges and she didn't think she could trust him. But he was like the boy who cried wolf, right? He was like the boy who cried wolf. He does do the pattern. He does do a good job of being the pattern switch boy. Yes, he
This
does.
is why you don't cry wolf, though.
But at
This
the
is
end
why you
of
don't
the
run
day,
around going, but you could
did-
be in danger.
he did save Egwene's life so she could die later.
Good job. Good job.
I mean, he
buddy.
did. He saved her life.
So he could help her die
So he-
later.
So he could cause her to want
He
to
was-
die later.
He was unintentional Dumbledore.
But let's think of it this
Let's-
way.
Let's
Yeah,
not
that's
besmirch the good name of Dumbledore, my good sir.
Dumbledore wasn't good.
No,
Harry
He-
Potter.
Dumbledore
Harry
was
Potter.
not good.
Snape.
no, he was not.
You know, I'll say this.
Severus
For Gowan, as much as as much
Snape
as I
was the good
dislike
guy.
Gowan,
All right.
Dumbledore.
as much as I
Sorry.
dislike Gowan, I think his character is very realistic. Like that character definitely exists in the world. Because I always think that Gowan's one of those like self-righteous people. Like he doesn't just want to help; he thinks it's his right. He should be
Right,
helped.
but he
knows
couldn't get
that.
out of his own way. He had
And
so much hubris and so
those
much pride.
Definitely out there,
Yeah,
you
They
know.
definitely are. They definitely
And so
are.
I feel like he definitely has a place in the story, as much as I hate him.
I mean, but honestly, Egwene,
Oh, yeah,
would
he
Egwene
does.
have been willing to sacrifice her life the way that she did if Goblin was still alive? I don't think so.
Is he?
He has
Is
a
he like?
place. It's at the bottom of a crater next to a still standing Damodar.
Is he? Is he the reverse version of fridging? Are we fridging Gawain to propel Egwene's storyline?
No, he was going to die anyway.
Good.
Because of the blood knives, he was already going to die.
Yeah,
Whether
oh,
he
yeah.
died
No,
by
yeah, the second he
Demandron's
flipped
hand
those
or
on.
not, he was going to die.
How? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think another thing that we need to say about Bayle Domon is that he has both street smarts and wisdom. He's very wise. He's very cunning.
Mhm.
Andrew wants to come debate Hogwarts on Geeks. I will debate Hogwarts.
Ooh, oh.
I'm
yeah,
a
nice.
Ravenclaw through and through. You can't beat
I'm a
me.
Hufflepuff.
I
I'm a
will kick your
Hufflepuff.
ass. Of course you are. Of
Was there any
course you are.
I think the last time I took one of the tests, I was
You're
I'm
supposed to
not
go to
surprised.
Pottermore.com, which I think redirects to wizardingworld.com.
Yeah, I have taken like
That's the official one.
42 different Harry Potter tests out there, including the game that came out last year, Ravenclaw. I'm a
Hogwarts
Ravenclaw.
Legacy is the
Yeah.
only game that I have ever 100%ed.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
insane. Wild.
I haven't played it. I keep going to buy it and then I
It's
It's
so
fun.
good.
It's good
It's
for at
so
least
good.
one playthrough. I wouldn't know that I don't know if you can play it multiple times through, but it's fun.
Look, you don't play it multiple times through. What you do is you play it, you 100% it, and then you run around like you're Dumbledore and nothing can touch you, and it's phenomenally
The
fantastic.
spiders are really creepy in it.
Yeah, and they're easy to kill when you have everything maxed out.
Of course
Yeah.
they are.
But yeah, so like onto the fridging thing. So it can't be reverse fridging because it would mean that Gollum could only exist for the sole purpose to die to Pell Egwene's action.
Which is not true because Egwene was propelling Egwene's own actions for the entire series.
I think he had a byproduct of of making an opportunity for Egwene to kind of have a very rushed, very limited, unfulfilling, slight closure with the Shan in the form of Egyanin. I think that's about it. But Galwin existed just to sit there and be a complete and total case study the entire time on how you can have all of the education and all of the money and all of the upbringing. And if you just don't fucking listen to common sense once in a while and other people, you can just be wrong.
Well,
Which is why Bayle is so good, because Bayle listens and learns from his environment and doesn't think he's the expert and knows everything all the time.
Exactly.
And one of the things we talked about last was it last episode? I don't know. Last episode we talked about the bond and how the bond with Egwene and Gawain can be a bit like maybe there is a bit of turbulence from Gawain that she was getting.
Yes.
And Egyanin is such whatever her name is. She's such a stable character that when Egwene bonds with her, yes, she's gone through this trauma and kind of steeled herself, but she gets kind of this stabilizing force through the bond that is able to kind of give her that clarity that and you see this, break the seals, when you do that, and able to this, which is very much like Egyanin. She's very methodical in what she does, which, getting back to Bayle Domon, kind of says a lot for him. That's the type of person that he is. That's what he's attracted to in Egyanin, that very straightforward, matter of fact, get it done person.
She's very Prussian, right? She's very methodical, very middle, very Central European.
Yeah, I could see that. It's almost, I mean, she comes from a very military oriented background, and law and order is everything to her. And when her own land abandoned her, she sought order through something else. Like she's a rule follower to the extreme.
She was rudderless. Then they named her shipless.
Yes.
Hey.
But if you think about it, like even when Bayle Domon and Egyanin are in private and he would kind of become more relaxed, she would try to chastise him because of his position, right? Like, you can't act like that. And he'll be like, bullshit, I'll act the way I want to act when it's just the two of us. But he would say it with love, right? He was never
two of us.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. And they did. And they did make it. And but he followed her when she was following Egwene. He made sure Egyanin was taken care of when Egyanin was making sure Egwene was taken care of. And that is why I think Bayle Domon is one of the really great unsung heroes of this series, just like Uno. Uno is just always there in the periphery.
The Shinaran throat goat.
When the Shinaran, seriously, he's there.
Do you know our disastrous Jordan Con interview, when we asked him, did you see the meme? And he went, yes. We asked him if he cared to comment, and he said no. But he did see it.
No, he did say I've seen worse. Which, by his hesitation when I first asked him,
oh Lord,
I was so thankful that he said I've seen worse, because I was like, I have made a grave error.
But when you think about it, it's characters like Bayle and Uno. And even more characters that have more of a focus point, like Cadsuane, these people that are in the periphery who have an impact on what happens indirectly, right? Even at the end of the day, some of the White Cloaks, Bayle, not Bayle, oh my God, Dane Warnhold, right? He saves Perrin's life because
the Danis.
Yeah, so I mean, there's these really intrinsic minor, you would, in the scheme of things, they're considered minor characters, but they have such value to driving the plot forward,
Yeah.
driving the wheel forward.
And I mean,
And-
that's even kind of funny now. They always say, like, oh, I'm the star of my own story. Like, yeah, that's great, but like every story needs side character. Like, not
Absolutely.
everybody can be the main
Giving
character.
Main
That's
character
great.
energy,
Like,
as the kids would say.
yeah, like some like side characters are really, really important. They're needed too.
Mhm.
And
I mean, I personally would want a Bayle Domon in my corner any day. Like, no matter what his ethics are, I would rather have somebody there. Josh, are you saying you're Bayle Domon?
I do no be saying I know be Bayle Domon.
I do be saying you have no seen Bayle Domon and me in the same room.
You
On
guys
the
do
same
that way
spray.
too well. You do that way too well.
It's the
You've
beard.
practiced a time or three, right? But you know,
You will be practicing a timer.
I have a lot of respect for that kind of you know, I think what do you think? Okay, so I know they don't really use alignments anymore, D&D alignments anymore, but what do you think? I think that Aegeanin is like lawful neutral. What do you think Bayle Domon is? Like chaotic neutral? But I don't think he's too well planned
No.
out, too thoughtful
he's
to be chaotic.
good. I don't know, because I think he kind of like goes where he needs to. So there's like a chaos theory there where he's like, what's being thrown at me? Okay, sure, we'll do that. But it
I'm
seems
gonna-
like he's usually going for the good.
I'm gonna
That's where-
disagree with you. I think he is a lawful neutral
Lawful neutral
because he does adhere to a code of
code.
ethics.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
like,
But not the law.
okay. How many of you guys have read Forgotten Realms books?
Forgot what?
Forgotten Realms, the books like Dredstow Erden, Catterley. You guys haven't read Forgotten Realms books?
We were busy reading another series. Maybe you've heard of
I am
it.
not familiar with the words you're speaking.
Okay, so
Lord of the
Forgotten
Rings.
Realms takes place in the D&D universe. It's Ari Salvatore, the Dark Elf Drizzt Do'Urden. You guys have never heard of Drizzt Do'Urden?
okay. I know of what you speak.
Okay, there is a drow swashbuckler rogue in the
Yes.
series. His name is Jarlaxle.
Oh, shocker.
And-
A swashbuckler rogue.
And he is the head of a mercenary band. And he is chaotic neutral.
Is it a
That's
merry
why
band?
what?
Is it a merry band?
They're in it strictly for the money.
Not a merry
He's
band.
absolutely an opportunist. No.
They're not
He
making
is-
enough money then.
But he is chaotic neutral because he is there. You do not know what this man's going to do. Like you have no idea. Whereas Bayle Domon, I would agree with you, is lawful neutral because he has a code. He's not above. He's not always going to do the good thing. He's going to do what he thinks is the right thing. That doesn't mean it's necessarily the good thing. But he does have a code. So I do think he would be a lawfully aligned character. Aegeanin, I don't know if you would consider her, maybe she's lawful good because she's always seeking to do the right thing.
See, no, I would think that
I'd put him in
Domon would
chaotic
be,
good.
he would do the good thing, but not necessarily the lawful thing.
Okay,
I would
Yeah.
think that.
That's why I'm saying like I'd put him chaotic good because like
Yeah.
he has his own code.
So you're basically saying
But-
he's me because I'm chaotic.
I mean, yeah, because I mean the thing is like let's not forget like his chief job before his capture by the Shan-Chan was smuggler. There's
Right.
no lawful in that.
I mean, but it's a code.
But he wasn't doing well. There's a difference between operating in a code and operating lawful. Pirates, like Pirates of the
Okay,
Caribbean
fine.
pirates,
I see
they
what
have
you're
a
saying.
code, but
There could be
they're
a
not
chaos
lawful.
factor there. I see what
So yeah,
maybe.
he would do whatever he needed to do to
So would he be
accomplish his
chaotic
task.
neutral?
Well, that's why I'm saying chaotic good because he never really did anything bad.
That we
Like,
know of.
His chaotic, unlawful nature. Well, I'm assuming he's pretty good considering that Trollocs were chasing him. Like
But the
we first
Trollocs
see
were
him.
chasing his ass because he had the seal.
Well, I mean, yeah. Do you know a good guy that steals the seals? Well, no, there are bad guys that steal the seals.
I feel like I could see Bayle Domon being the type of guy that's like, I feel like that law is unfair, so I'm
I'm
not
that
going
type
to follow
of
it.
guy. No,
He stole
listen, I've got
spices.
LL Cool J
He
in
stole
my
ice
head now.
peppers to bring to the world. Well, he bought unlawful ice peppers to smuggle to the world Like he was smuggling like
Bless him.
vegetables and shit.
Because without
You know
him,
how
I
far
would
back
not
our
have
taint
ice
sauce would
peppers
be
or the
without
Dark
his
One's taint.
ice peppers?
Oh my god. Okay, so
Bruh.
we're gonna say that Bayle Domon is chaotic good.
Josh, we need to find a way
Chaotic
to make blue
neutral
taint sauce.
/ good.
Oh, okay. Are you ready? Oh, wait. Just wait.
Oh dear.
Just
Without mold. Without mold. No mold. We don't want Bayle Domon's doobie moldy
Can you
sauce.
put a tiny bit of blue curacao in it?
Okay, so
There is blue. Oh, okay. That's the garlic. I see. Okay.
yes.
I was
So
very
here's the
concerned
thing.
for a second.
You see the blue in the garlic right there?
Yes.
Yeah, that happens with vinegar, doesn't it?
It happens with the fermentation process of the garlic. So fermented garlic will turn blue. It's not mold, it's not bad. It does not affect the flavor. It's just a chemical reaction. And when these things started turning blue, I freaked. Look, guys, emotionally, I'm here. I'm on the edge. I'm not okay. Okay.
Living
Bed
on
of glory.
the edge.
Living on the edge.
But when I thought this batch might also go moldy and we were going to go 2 years in a row with
Oh my god! So you telling me last year me missing Jordan Con, I
Waffles
did
knows what does it.
not miss out
you did
on
not.
missing taint sauce?
You did not. And the taint sauce I made for WatCon didn't work. It didn't work. It just didn't work. We're just gonna go with that.
So I get to taste the taint at Jordan Con though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at Waffle giving us science lessons.
Oh, look at there.
Yes.
When acid is
garlic, it
introduced
turns
to garlic.
blue. Oh my god!
Blue pasta. I'm so excited to make this.
I love that.
But how cool would it be if we could, without like pouring a ton of like food dye in it and shit into it, make a blue or white taint sauce in honor of Bayle Domon's smuggling of ice peppers?
I love where you're going with this.
Bayle Domon and Eggianen would absolutely send their son to the Black Tower to be tested,
Absolutely, 100% agree.
especially after Logain.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Sorry, I had a really bad show. It was Eggy and Edmondson up there on a leash.
No. Is she one of those like bad modern, like one of those modern moms that walks their kid around on a leash? Is that what happens now?
Look, it's how she was
Just
raised. You can't blame her.
It's her culture.
She's from a different time. Is that the excuse she makes? I'm from a different time.
From a different
Things were
culture.
different back. Things were different before the Dragon's Peace.
No, we're not
The
going
agreement
there.
said no more Damane. This is different.
I'm not going there.
Okay. Let's wrap this up. Bayle Domon, we all agree, is probably one of the greatest characters. Beth, you nailed it with him being one of the tertiary characters that moves the wheel. That's why we have this whole series about the background breakdown, background characters that we feel like just don't get enough love, just don't get enough deep dive. And so we thank you, Beth, for being here with us on this one. Go ahead, and I'll give you first rights on giving us your final thoughts on Bayle Domon as a man, as a character, as a person. What is it? What is it about this book boyfriend of yours? Or is it book husband? Now that you've named,
no, he's more like a
taken the
distant
name.
relative. Actually, he's like a distant relative, like a distant
Eccentric
cousin,
rich uncle. Got it.
Something like that. No, honestly, I just really love that. I like the morally gray characters. I just always do. I find characters that, well, he's not morally gray. That's not the right expression I'm looking for. People who aren't afraid to kind of go outside the lines of what the norms are. But
problem solvers.
Yeah, they'll do whatever it takes to get it done. And like every time, even if he was only in a book for a chapter, like if you remember when he was being hunted in Kyrian and he got that letter, right? And he's like, and he opened it when he wasn't supposed to open it. They had given him like 1,000 crowns or whatever to go to Tyr, I think it was, and that's what caused him to leave to go west in the first place, right? Or go east in the first place. He was west and he went east. I can't remember. Either way, he was like, I'd say Bill is neutral good versus chaotic. Neutral allows a sense of morals, but will set aside for the greater good. Chaotic will do what they want to do no matter what for their perceived good. I mean, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Shoddy would probably know because he's a TTRPG
Yeah.
Guru.
not
I'll be
noob.
honest, I'm speaking from complete ignorance here.
Well,
Just making
I mean,
stuff up.
but you know what?
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
it with such
Afford
authority.
you-
You said it with such conviction. I believed you.
Just
That's
tell
all
me
I'm
a
saying.
You're
politician.
to
I'm gonna
afford
go with
you
it.
a certain level of authority in this
Yeah.
area. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I just really appreciate a character doesn't have a lot of time on the page, but it is so nuanced and leaves such an imprint. And like when you think about it, he was the first person that talked about the wonders of the Age of Legends to the boys.
Mm.
He told them about the terror of Genji. He planted all of that foreshadowing that we end up seeing throughout different storylines coming to fruition. And I just love that. And he was curious. He had a great mind. He was a laborer. He was a leader of laborers, right? He had worked his way up himself. He commanded authority, but he didn't take advantage of his authority. And he was willing to take the back seat when he needed to. And that's a sign of a really good leader. And, and he was wise and he was smart.
Not wrong.
And I appreciate a character like that. I think he was really well written. So
Thank you for those final thoughts, Beth. Thank you for
thank you
joining
for
us tonight.
having me. I love your chaos. Everybody here is definitely chaotic.
It's true.
I don't
It's
know if
true.
you're good, but you're chaotic.
Andrew, hit me with your final thoughts
Hit me,
on
baby, one more time.
Senor Bayle Domon.
You have to do it in a Bayle
Lesser-
Domon accent, though,
Lesser Bayle
Andrew.
Domon?
Oh, I can't do that much, Bayle Domon.
What was an honorific for a pirate? Lord Bayle Domon?
I mean,
Captain.
Captain Bayle Domon.
privateer.
Captain of the booty.
Private.
Captain of the booty, Bayle Domon. They call him the
Captain
Doman
of
because
my
he's got
booty,
all the
Bayle
booty. It's the real origin of his last name, Doman, because he's got all the booty.
He was the Pillsbury Doughman. That's where he came up with his name.
Yeah.
Look,
He's a
I just-
large character with a large heart, large
Yes,
personality.
and a big brain.
I liked him.
We like
I-
big brains.
I really love when we have like a character like Bayle that shows up, like Bayle shows up just enough through the story. He's sprinkled in just enough at just the right points in the story to where he adds to the story. He helps further the plot without being an obvious plot device. He gives us more information on the world and expands on the world building without it being super abundantly obvious. And he doesn't just get relegated to little menial tasks. Like he gets a couple of like little important taskings. And even in retrospect, when you find out about like the seal he was carrying and why, like it wasn't just that Trollocs were chasing Rand and company, and that's just who was chasing after them on the spray. Like it was that, but it was also Trollocs chasing the spray, trying to get the seal. It's a character that becomes just important enough for them being a tertiary level character to where they make that tertiary level almost questionable. I mean, not fully, but almost questionable.
Yeah.
I think Bayle Domon is a character that any writer that's looking at a way to do a sporadically thrown in tertiary character right without making them an obvious plot furthering device.
Yeah.
Bayle Domon is the kind of style character you should aim for. So
Agree.
I really enjoy him. I enjoy earlier Bayle Domon a lot more than later Bayle Domon, but earlier Bayle Domon gets to do a lot more like direct interaction himself. Later on, it's a lot more just kind of interacting with the group that's around and supporting Egiane, which I don't dislike. I just like Bayle Domon being pissed at everyone on the spray more than I like Bayle Domon being like, well, and I like Bayle Domon guarding the dragons.
Yeah.
Right.
Bayle Domon just kind of standing around being like, go on, talk to the Armerlin seat. It's fine.
Sure.
Like, but I like it.
It do be fine.
It do be fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Reese, how do you feel about me captain, my captain, Bayle Domon.
Captain Crunch, Bayle Domon.
Captain Crunch.
I feel like Bayle Domon, especially early Bayle Domon, to our Emmons Field 5. He's kind of like the fun uncle that I aspire to be as an aunt. I just want to be that person that's he's seen the world, he's been places, and he's gonna tell you stories that you probably shouldn't tell your mom and dad about.
I love that. That's perfect. I give my final thoughts on some Bayle Domon, on some BD. I think Beth nailed it when we wrapped this character up as a character that is a background character that pushes the plot forward in really interesting ways. And the writing style of Robert Jordan to bring everybody in, and I know this is kind of a recurring theme that we talk about on the show, but the fact that we bring in characters from book one and then we bring them all the way in back in the end of the book. We like to reference Almond Bunt a lot. And I like to talk about, my first time reading through and not realizing that Bayle Domon, that was the same guy that gave them a ride on the spray. I love it. I love that Bayle is mysterious in the beginning. He's just a trader. He's just a merchant. And then you learn, he's also a smuggler. And then he drops that little bit of lore. He makes a lore drop about the Tower of Genji. Ironically, to Matt.
Right.
Foreshadowing where Bayle Domon is such an amazing character for extremely subtle reasons.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
Yep.
And there's so much about this book series. If you're not paying attention, you'll miss it, which is why we read it impulsively again and again and again without end.
He's almost like that character that it's a great big world, but the actual world you deal with is very small.
Yes.
And he keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back into them in very important ways.
And if you're following along with the What Reread, #WhatReread, on all our socials, you'll know that we are in Winter's Heart this month.
Ooh,
Book
you're right in the
9, Winter's Heart
slog.
for the month of March. This is my favorite book, which is funny because it also has some of my most loathed storyline. It's fun. I love it. Follow along with us. If you're not reading along, why not?
Why aren't
you?
Get
on it. We're only on book 9. You can catch up. It's super easy. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for conducting yourselves in a chaotic manner while we dole out this week's dose of taint. Thank you, Beth Domon. Once again, please tell all the good tainted folk they can find you and how they can follow you on all of your socials because you're amazing and they should.
You can find me on Twitch at Beth Domon. You can find me actually Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube, Beth Domon. TikTok, which I've gotten 1,000 followers on TikTok this month alone. Beth.Domon. So
beautiful.
But yeah, and it's mostly gaming content. It's not really Wheel of Time content. But that's coming out.
What about your other show?
Oh yeah, Delving the Chronicles.
Yeah.
We're going to be releasing a review episode of. Sorry, my dog is dreaming.
Not gonna
and
lie,
snoring.
I thought somebody just ripped
We need the pup
ass.
cam.
It's to be exciting over here.
You need the puppy cam while I do a voiceover. She has settled back down. She is.
No.
She is.
Oh, good puppy.
Yeah, but no. So we are going to be releasing episode 1 review from the TV show this week. We watched it during the fan screening, and so Shoddy was not available to watch that this weekend because he got his first tattoo this weekend.
He did, and I've seen it, and it's great.
He did, and but he was not available, so it's just Koala Azul and I, and some of it got a little heated, so you should watch that. I, with no spoilers, will give that first episode a 7 to 7.5. I did not love it. I really liked it, but I did not love it without getting into specifics. So,
if we get a season 4, can we see Delving the Chronicles playing our Watt Fantasy League?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I speak for all four of us, even though I'm the only
Yeah.
one here.
I'm going to hold all four of you accountable.
It's fine.
You're stuck now.
Absolutely. Count us in.
Excellent.
Linktree
Well-
link for Beth Domon is also down in the show notes and description below.
Reese,
And if
point
there's
down.
any other links you want me to put
Pointing
in
at
there,
you. There it is.
Beth,
Right
just
down
shoot them
there.
to me and I'll put them in there before
I sure will.
the episode goes public.
I sure
Um,
will. Thank you guys for having
if-
me. I always love being here.
And if you don't see more links than just Beth Linktree, there's a 99% chance that I messed up and not Beth. So don't blame Beth.
I mean, blame me if you want to. It's fine. I'm used to
Unless
being
you
the
go to
whipping girl.
unless you go to her like Twitch stream and you do it with like cheers and like donos and stuff. You can do it like that.
Yeah,
That'd
you
be-
could totally
that'd be
do that.
hilarious. Do that.
I do have a
100 cheers to
subboard.
say it's your fault.
I do have a subboard. These
Yeah.
are all people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel this month so far. I mean, to my Twitch channel so far this month. So,
Hell yeah.
yes. So if you want to see your name
Excellent.
on my board with your color of choice, you can subscribe to my Twitch
If you
channel.
want to be one of Beth's
Hell yeah.
subs.
I am a sub, but if you want to be a sub too, then yeah, you can. Anyway,
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being absolutely awesome. We hope that wherever you are out there after listening to this, we hope you leave here just a little bit more insane than you were when you first started. From all of us here at the Black Tower, I have been Josh, your Sorvon Mahale.
And I've been Reese, your Athan Mahale.
And I've been Andrew, your Bijon Mahel. Thank you again, and we will see you all again next week for our next episode that'll be covering a topic about the Wheel of Time.
You've been waiting for this moment, for this feeling to grow. In the shadows, always watching, always running the show. In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble